Today, we break the silence and uncover the truth about the vow, the voiceless, and those rare moments when silence is no longer an option. The Sisters of Silence are among the most secretive forces in the Imperium. Their silence is a weapon. But what happens when their silence is broken? Before we get into it, I just want to give a quick shout out to my co-host, my cat, who I think has made an appearance in every single episode of the Beginner's Guide to the Grimdark. I just want to give credit where credit's due. She's got my back. Who are the Sisters of Silence? The Sisters of Silence are an elite order of psychic gnolls, blinks, humans born without a presence in the warp, which basically means they have no souls. Because of their unique psychic absence, again, their lack of souls, they are immune to demonic possessions. They can sever warp connections, and their mere proximity can cause discomfort, even agony, to psychers. But how are they created? Blinks are rare mutations. When identified, often as children, they are recruited or taken quietly and raised in these hidden convents of the sisters. Their training is brutal and uncompromising, both physically and mentally. At the end of the process, the sister takes the Vow of Tranquility, which is a sacred oath that binds her to silence in all things. From that point onward, she may only communicate through sign language, body language, and through astropaths who suffer greatly for it. But why don't they speak? Their silence is both symbolic and strategic. The vow is a way of sharpening the mind and distancing oneself from temptation, doubt, and emotional compromise. But more than that, it helps reinforce their role as instruments of the Emperor's will, not as individuals, but as weapons. A Sister of Silence is not there to comfort, to question, or to inspire. She's there to act. And of course, let's not forget their most important role, which is to stop psychers, which they can do easily enough by just being close to them. So how do the Sisters of Silence communicate? Despite their vow, despite their silence, the sisters are not left without a voice. Their primary method of communications is a silent hand language known as Thoughtmark, an intricate system of hand signs developed solely for the sisterhood. To outsiders, it's indecipherable, but to trained custodes, inquisitors, and to their fellow sisters, it speaks volumes. So what happens when they have to communicate to somebody who doesn't understand them? Even when silent signs and intention are not enough, there comes a time when a sister must speak. And when she does, everybody listens. And yes, I come with receipts. In the novel, The Emperor's Legion, we find our Sister of Silence, Sister Tnao Alea, fighting alongside Custodian Valerian, making their final stand aboard the Chaos warship Heartspite, surrounded, wounded, dying. With enemies closing in and no hope for survival, Custodian Valerian turns to her and simply asks, "Will you stand with me, sister?" And for the first time in decades, Alea speaks. Her response, "By his will alone, brother." 5 words, but they hit like thunder across a lifetime of silence. Spoil alert, they do survive, and then they continue this verbal discussion in another book. In the sequel, The Regent's Shadow, we find Alea again verbally speaking with Custodian Valerian. And this time, she's explaining to him why she chooses to speak. She says, "The oath of silence is not a muzzle. It is a weapon like any other." The vow of silence is not some sort of mystical, sacred muzzle. I mean, those were her words exactly. It's a discipline, a choice, a tactical decision made by warriors who know that sometimes words carry more weight than steel. And this moment of breaking their silence is not unique to Sister Alea. Even during the Siege of Terra, in the novel The Master of Mankind, sisters spoke when battles, communication, or even human survival demanded their voice. Because their silence isn't about control, it's about purpose. There are other records during the Horus Heresy and stories revolving around the burning of Prospera as well as the defense of Terra, where sisters break their silence. Sometimes it was to give vital command to non-sisters, and other times it was born out of grief, fear, or duty. In certain narratives, a sister may speak when a person cannot decipher Thoughtmark, or if human lives depend on clarity and speed. And in all reality, it makes sense. The vow is a tool, not a shackle. The Emperor demands results, not fanatical muteness. We're not the sisters of battle here. And what are the consequences of breaking their vow? Breaking the vow is not taken lightly. After such an event, a sister must undergo the rite of reaffirmation, a ceremonial act of retaking the vow of tranquility. This is not punishment. It's more of a spiritual resetting. Unlike the Sisters of Battle, who walk the path of penance through pain and martyrdom, the Sisters of Silence do not flagellate themselves for duty. They do what they must do, and then they reconnect to the path. So yeah, the Sisters of Silence are silent until they choose not to be. The vow of silence is powerful, but it's not unbreakable. In moments of truth, duty, or defiance, the sisters will speak. And when they do, everyone should listen. If you enjoyed this dive into the not-so-silent Sisters of Silence, please be sure to like and subscribe for more from the Beginner's Guide to the Grimdark. And of course, thank you so much for watching.